Okay, so good evening. How are you guys?
Hi, very well, thank you.
Oh, that's
You?
good. Sounds very good for Monday evening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes? Yes, I am very, very happy to have you guys. It's no problem if it's Monday evening or Friday evening. You are always okay. Wow, this is piece of paradise on earth. Right. So last time we talked about something that is not so much paradise. So we started talking about abuse, and tonight I hope we can give some practical tips how we can deal with that. But did you have some time to do a reading and check the website that I told you about? Did you dig into the different types of abuse? What can you tell me now? And yeah, let's discuss a bit, please.
Okay. So we read the article that you sent us, and went through the different types of abuse. There are really very many. I don't think I can say very many.
Yeah, in spoken English, you can say that. Yes,
Yeah.
they are zillions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh. So were you kind of surprised to find some of the forms of abuse among all the others? Or were you somehow prepared to see all of these different kinds?
The most surprising were the verbal abuses.
For example, what was surprising for you?
I can't remember, but there were so many just little things that could make the person don't feel well, which makes the statement
Abusive.
abuse. Yeah, abusive.
Okay. Lubomir, what about you? Did you find any that were kind of very surprising or shocking?
Yes. No, I will try to remember what abuse by email, but spam is what kind of abuse we received all emails that especially for me I didn't feel very good about that, because if I decide to check, I think I will I will check that. I will send inquiry or stuff like that. This, but at the moment I didn't recognize that this is form of abusing. I was surprised about different kind of abusement, like
Abuse. This is the
abuse,
noun, abuse. Uh-huh.
abuse with when we spoke with parents or stuff, but because it's the very thin, not border, but it's
Yes, thin line.
thin line, yes, thin, because but the parents for me is we need to exclude them, because they when we talked last time, you said that they now they know very well their child. They they try to be uh, independent person, but to do the true decisions, to be
To make
they
decisions.
help their children to give to do the true decisions to true ways, because
Okay,
it's not
this, however, is the best case scenario, which
yes, but
fortunately doesn't happen all very often.
so I didn't mention about abusing for the different parents, like physical abusing is it is terrible.
Mhm.
But yes, internet abuse. Well, we can find all different forms, billions abusing. It was most of them I didn't recognize at this moment.
Yeah. Okay. Steffi, do you think that it's possible for children to abuse their parents?
Why not?
For the little children, I don't think so.
Really? What happens
Yeah.
when a child has a tantrum and you take the child to the shop and they start, I want that, buy me that, ah! And they have this tantrum and the parent says, shh, hush, 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 okay, I will. This is abuse. This
I
is
don't know.
absolute control. And I was really shocked once. I was in a supermarket and there was a child having a real tantrum, shouting, rolling on the floor. And it was a boy. He was maybe 8. He was not very small. And he knew exactly what he wanted. You will buy me that, or I will tell daddy, and this and that. And he started threatening his mother. And the mother turned to the shop assistant and said, please do something with that child. And I turned around and I said, lady, it's you who should do something, not the shop assistant. I was really shocked that the mother was so helpless. But then afterwards, I realized it was the classical Stockholm syndrome. So it has been going on and on and on, and the mother has been kind of withholding and giving territory. And she was telling herself, well, I love this person and I love my child and it's love. No, it's not love. Sometimes it takes a stick. If your child does that, this is what we did with our children. Yes, when they were very small, they tried to lie. And we said, you know that at home, you cannot lie. And if you do, we will have to punish you. And they look you in the eyes and they try. And we said, no, it doesn't go in this house. You warn 2 times, and when they continue, we just took them to the kitchen and we said, okay, now I need to discipline you. Why am I going to spank you? Spanking, I took a wooden spoon, and there should be some form of pain. Of course, you don't do when you are angry. You don't do because you can do nothing and you feel helpless, but this is discipline. And I looked them in the eyes and I said, now I need to do it. Why? Because you don't love me. No. Because I'm a bad boy. No. Because I lied. Yes, because you lied. Then it's only twice with the spoon, and then you hug the child. But we spoke, I think, 1 or 2 months ago. My children are 25 and 22. And I said, do you remember that we spanked you? And they said, yes, and we appreciate it. Because they understood that they needed boundaries. They needed to know what's right, what's wrong. And in fact, this is the way to deal with abuse. You need to set boundaries. When a bully comes and tells you at school, give me your money or I'm gonna beat you up, and you just say, sorry, you cannot do that with me. Well, just watch me. Okay, they beat you once, but then you go tell your parents and say, there's this guy, please come and do something. And daddy should come and he should tell that bully, if you touch my son or my daughter again, you're out of this school. So I had this case with several bullies around our apartment block. And my son was out playing, and we never taught our children to be very aggressive, but we taught them that they need to stand their ground and they need to be very firm. And if somebody attacks them, they should protect themselves. And these guys, they were 2 or 3, and they came against him. So he came home and he was crying. He said, Daddy, help me. So I went out. And I just looked at them. They were kind of 10 or something. They were just very small. And I said, guys, I don't know what you are thinking, but you thought it wrong, because if you do this once more to my son, you will have a very big problem with me. You see this? You're gonna feel it. And they were kind of, and that's all it took. It was over. I never had to punish them because I'm a stranger. I can never punish them. I was planning to go and talk with their parents and stuff like that. But that was enough, because usually abusers are very fearful. And when you stand up, they kind of withdraw. Not always, but quite often. And boundaries are a very good way. What is a boundary? What do you know of boundaries? Can you tell me? Mariana, maybe you can help. Have you read anything about boundaries? Do you know anything about boundaries?
Well,
No?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, so this is your homework for next time. Read about boundaries, please, and try to dig a little bit. So boundaries are a great instrument. When you say yes, it is a yes. And when you say no, it's a no. You express what you allow or you forbid. For example, I had this, I don't know, maybe you don't know about me, but many years ago, I was a cook in a restaurant. And I had a sous chef who had a very bad mouth. He was swearing and cursing all day. And it felt so horrible just to listen to him. And I just told him, listen, I don't care what you do and the way you speak, but when I'm around, I do not allow such language. Please either shut up or do something about it, but when I'm around, I do not allow that. He tried once or twice more, and I had to repeat again. And from that moment on, a colleague came and said, I want to work with you, because when we are on the same shift, this guy doesn't speak that language. But on the other shifts, he's obnoxious, he's horrible. So boundaries are your expressed, let's say, statement. I allow this, I don't allow this. And it has to do with your belief, who you are. Who am I to tell this person, well, I have my life and I'm responsible what I let in to my life. So I can say, sorry, it doesn't go here. You cannot do this with me. Oh yeah, just watch me. Okay, so what? Try to show how strong you are. It doesn't go with me. And I remember it was while I was doing my military service. I had bad experience because I didn't know much about boundaries. And then I regretted, why didn't I say? Why didn't I do something about it? And you can see a lot of different forms of abuse because you keep quiet, you're afraid, you withdraw, you hide. And this is not a good strategy. So you can see a lot of different forms of abuse, and they flourish and they prosper when you keep quiet. So next time we will talk about boundaries because they are a lifesaver. They can really save your life. Sometimes you need to say them, sometimes you need to write them down, but they should be the expression of what you believe about yourself. If you feel I'm a nobody and you say, well, you cannot do this with me, and why? And because this will not work very well. It's not a boundary, it's like meowing. You need to be quite well aware that you have total control over your life. For example, I want to share this with you. It was kind of a story that is interesting, but there was a girl and she was a Christian, and she had been to a church meeting where they preached from the Bible on one of the Psalms, and it was God covers me with his wings and protects me. And she went out and she was going home at night, and some man attacked her to sexually rape her in the park. And she tried to remember what it was exactly. She didn't remember it was with his wings, God will protect me. And she started just shouting, feathers, feathers, feathers. But something happened. This guy got kind of shocked and he ran away. And then they asked her, what did you do? And she said, I don't know exactly. I was trying to say that God is protecting me. But even in that funny way, she didn't find the right words. But maybe her intonation, her voice, her belief was expressed. And it was enough to scare away the attacker. So sometimes it's not so much the words you say, it's the way you say them that really define this is allowed, this is not allowed. And usually when you say it, they try to attack it to check if it's really strong. Like that child. The mother said no, and he shouted even more. So this is not a good way, this is not a boundary. Okay, next time we will discuss, before you do your reading, because I know that Lubomir is going to read at least 10 different sources to check, and that's wonderful. Do you think you understood about boundaries, and have you used boundaries in your own life? By what I explained, what can you tell me? Steffi?
Yeah, I think I understand what you mean. And of course, I believe in everybody's life, there is a time, even for people that are not, how to say, not very strong or aggressive or, yeah, strong.
Violent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody had a time when he or she stands up and says, all right, so this will not happen.
Yeah, that's
while
That's
I'm
it.
here.
Enough.
That's it.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. Yeah. So yeah.
Does it work?
Yes, when you are right that when you say it with confidence and you are absolutely sure that this is the end and this is the limit and they will not go further, it always works. Yeah. But if you just say, all right, just stop, or not with confidence or something in your voice, that would not be enough for children or for colleagues or for friends or whoever.
Abusers, usually.
Yeah.
Because they like playing. And if you just say, well, stop, please,
Yeah.
get even further because it's kind of, it gives them pleasure. Mm-hmm. Okay, Lubomir, what do you think?
I think that I try to use boundary, but maybe I managed different abusers. Years ago, I had more many examples of abusing on neighborhood and school, military service, colleagues, not bullied, but bullies, but with words. They, I mentioned last time that I have one colleague who tried to abuse with words and behavior. He said other colleagues is wrong because he did this way, something, or discuss with or conversation with customers, but for abuser, it's right wrong way.
There is only one right way, and it is his
yes.
way. Yeah.
But I listened, but I didn't care about that. But when we said at the beginning, I, I said that's enough, because I try to be concentrate, concentrate, yes, and to be effective. And when he or she said these things, it's not. I didn't feel good.
Especially when the other person is not around.
Yes, and he made unfriendly atmosphere, and it's not good for me to be effective. And and I said, please, not first, please, I don't care about that. But he tried again and again. I said, yes. That's it. I never have to know about or this or this kind. If you prefer to do that, okay. But
have it your way, but not with me.
Yes, but you didn't cross my yes, my line.
Very good. So did that stop?
Yes. She did, but I need to marry 2 or 3 times to do that, because if one person said to me, "You're wrong about that," I can try to think about that. And, okay, I can stop at the same moment, maybe, or I will try to stop.
Yeah.
But this person is a different kind of person.
Yeah.
But about different. Forced abuser like bullying, I try to be like them or be strong. I also said to my father about when they are bigger than me, stronger. I didn't, but when I stay hard and strong, I said I can try to. They were surprised. Because at this moment, yes, maybe they beat me, but okay, it's not their. It didn't work for them because
it doesn't make them happy. Yeah.
Yes, yes. At first, I can try to didn't pay attention because sometimes worked.
Well, usually this is something that stimulates them even more, because it means I don't care, and that's an open door for the abusers. When we talk next time about boundaries, we will talk about the different strategies, but you were absolutely right that you need to be very well aware who you are, what you can do. If you cannot, try to find an ally, try to find someone to go together. It could be the boss, it could be a father, it could be someone that you can really, they can support your statement. Because usually when you say, well, I'll call the police, who cares about that? Yes, until the police comes, you will be beaten up.
Of course.
But there are special ways how to enforce boundaries, but they work. And when you start with small things, your confidence builds. So when you are in real trouble, it's a lot easier because you have won the small battles. And when the real thing comes, your voice sounds different because you're confident this works. If you start directly with the big things, not so sure that you can succeed. You need the small victories first to encourage you, to help you believe more and more that this is my life, this is my responsibility, this is my area that I can protect, and I have to protect it. Otherwise, who cares about me and my life if I don't? And these are things that need to happen. And these are things that it's good to teach our children teach our friends, because unfortunately they don't teach you that at school. They teach you how to get good grades.
Yes, but for every person is different, because
Yeah.
in at school or different organization, they didn't know very well each person.
Mm,
But yes,
yeah.
brother, family, and best
Yeah, it
friends,
should be
they know
family.
about.
Yeah, it should be family.
Especially,
But still, at school, they can give you basic knowledge, what
yes,
boundaries are, how to protect your life.
yes.
And definitely, the school system needs reform all over the world. So, Mariana, what do you think about these things? And we spoke about abuse, but what about boundaries? Have you tried to set boundaries, and has it worked for you? Like Lubomira and the spam emails, I hate those spammers. So I have a special filter, and I go almost at least once a week to add different domains and different, because they spam horribly much. Yeah.
Well, what do you exactly mean with this word?
Boundaries.
Mhm.
Granici. Boundaries
I
is
suppose so.
the limit. You just kind of draw a line and you say, sorry, you cannot go further. This is, or you just walk away, or you come in a different way. I do not tolerate this kind of behavior. Boundaries.
So I didn't, especially when it's for a boss.
Mhm.
I have no
You
the
have no experience.
not experience, but it's not the right behavior,
Mhm.
because for me, it's written that I should, even they are worse, I should do my best to help them.
Well, do you think that you can help an aggressive person who is coming against you?
Well, as much as possible.
Well, you are somewhere from another galaxy. I cannot do that. First, I need to tell this person, sorry, you cannot touch my life. You cannot come into my life like that. And if this person respects what I say, then I hope I can help in some way. If this person is a bully, an abuser, he has no respect for me, for what I say, how can I help that person? They take advantage of me. They want to use me for their own purposes. This is not really help. I'm supporting their horrible concept of who they are and how the world works. So this is what I believe.
But this is not my business.
What? What is not your business?
I mean, well, I'm supposed to do what they want if it's a
Really?
workplace.
Even if they're abusers?
Abusers, maybe, but if I don't accept it personally and just try to be, you know, a, a good person.
So where is your personal responsibility for your own life then?
But my own life continues.
Yes, but in what way?
What?
You will be abused, you will be broken, you have no self-esteem. What kind of life is that? Do you think
Broken?
this is something that really helps other people?
I don't think that, sorry, I will be broken.
Really? After
Yeah,
abuse? Every kind of abuse breaks something in you. It breaks your spirit,
if you
breaks your
if you
soul.
don't allow it, if you say, but these people don't know what they are doing, so, well, my work is to pray.
Okay, I pray too. But then I have to act, because it says that faith without works is dead.
But I cannot command them.
No, but I can forbid them. and I can say, sorry, not with me. You can do it somewhere else, but not with me. You don't believe that?
I don't know. It's gonna be no.
No, it's fine. That's why we're here, because we believe different things. We have different ideas. That's wonderful. And I don't want everyone to believe like me.
It's a different way. It's interesting, yes, because
Yeah.
maybe they will be shocked about it.
Okay, so that's why I just want to know. And it's very good to discuss these things, because I don't believe there's a formula, but we need to take responsibility for our lives, because one day we will have to give account, to be responsible. And when that day comes and God says, what have you done with your life? I need to answer and say, oh, well, I tried to be nice. And what happened when they attacked you? What happened when you were a bad example for all the people around, because you allowed those people to do whatever they wanted, and they started believing that they can do anything that they want, and they started a war, for example. So if you allow those bullies in Iran or Iraq and nobody stops them, and we just say, well, they don't know what they're doing, I believe that they're going to start World War III. Because when an abuser or a bully does not get confronted, they believe that they are God. They can do anything because I'm strong. Everybody does what I tell them. That's what I believe. Don't you agree, Mariana?
But okay, if you know who you are, and if you know that you have some difficulties, but it's not your fault, so what is the problem?
Interesting. Okay, so maybe next time we can discuss that. In the light of boundaries, boundaries are not an aggressive instrument. Boundaries are a way to protect yourself. So I don't believe that there's a problem with what you say, because I'm not going to attack people with my boundaries, but I'm not going to allow them to misuse me and abuse me. And I believe this is my personal responsibility. Okay, next time we will discuss that, and you do some digging, what boundaries are, how we can set them, how we can protect them, because it's like the wall around the city. You need the wall because when the enemy comes, you need to make it hard for them to do whatever they want and take whatever they want. There needs to be a wall of protection. That's what boundaries are. So you will help me next time with sharing ideas, what they are, what we can do with them.
Okay,
All right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So see you
See you next
Week.
next week, or maybe on Sunday, or maybe on Monday, whatever, I don't know. Okay, bye guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
evening.
You too. You
You
too.
too.